Let's go! Hello everyone, welcome back to Stories and Sigils. We have Aiden.
Hello.
And Blur.
Hello.
With that in mind, we start our... What happened last session? Real quick, Aiden, do you remember since you were there?
Oh, I was there. So basically, Hera had summoned her first Gaster Blaster, and Libran went insane. So what had happened is they started talking windings with each other, trying to converse back and forth, and she started talking about how her powers are different and how she can summon Gaster's actual blaster, the Void Blazer. And that made Libran completely lose it. And then she told him that Gaster was giggling upon discoveries of this. And he went in there, he tore Gaster, Libran is they. They tore Gaster out of her chest, and she couldn't regulate her void magic properly, so one of her legs disappeared. Not permanently, but temporarily, one of her legs just disappeared into the void. And everyone wanted a piece of Libran over that. So, Libran got basically ejected for a second, and Gaster pulled back over to Hera, and Hera reabsorbed Gaster. Gaster returned her leg to normal, and Hera got very, very pissed. And so she had walked off after a couple of minutes of conversation where she had let Gaster talk with Libran about this, because that was insane. That was even more insane than Gaster's experience. And then she left just entirely, and then went into the field, murdered 3 robots, in 2 turns, no less.
Casually destroyed government property.
Yeah, that casually destroyed government property and came back. Libran is an angsty teenage child. That is what we learned from last episode on Stories and Sigils.
Basically, Libran's a fucking traumatized kid who got locked in a fucking box for 15 years when his trauma started, so he never, ever actually talked about it.
Bro had some real problems.
Oh, yeah.
Libra needs therapy.
Oh, yeah,
definitely.
We can point him and Arca to the therapist after Arca found out there was 2 Gasters.
Also, something Arca did was, like, apparently their voice became more powerful and almost, like, booming as they invoked the power of the primordial dark world as its
Have you heard of thaumaturgy? From D&D. Blair, have you heard of thaumaturgy from D&D? So basically, you made your voice booming for 1 minute. That is one of the effects of thaumaturgy.
Use this reverb effect on my mic if that ever happens again.
You also then Arca then basically told Libran if he ever did something that fucking insane again, he was going to arrest them. They would arrest them.
Yeah, your mic wasn't very good last episode, so I don't think a lot of everyone heard that. I had to fill in the gap.
Anyways,
she's back with the party now.
With it, we start our session with Hera walking back into the starting entrance gate of town. As she walks by, the Rudin Ranger Arthax waves at her. Hello.
She waves back. we're 100% sure this man heard 4 gaster blasters go off
Oh, he heard
in the field.
He heard
outside
powerful
the town.
magic. He's just like, I ain't gonna fuck with it. It's like, I ain't got a problem with lightners, especially not lightners that can do powerful magic.
Yeah. Bro's trying to get on her good side, and he's already on her good side, luckily.
It's not that, he's not fucking stupid. He's not gonna question what happened. He saw a lightner that's like part human, part dragon or whatever go out, and he heard like laser breath or something. He's not gonna question it. He knows better.
Ain't my problem.
Not my problem.
Not my problem.
The looking away monkey gift.
Kind
Yeah,
of.
like, not my problem.
Not exactly like that, but except he's got a smile. You know, it's like, as long as no one's dead, I ain't got no problems with it.
As long as he didn't hear no screams from the damned innocent out there, he's fine.
He's like, who am I to stop a kid from having fun?
Who am I to stop a kid from casually destroying military property? The military is
they're not
run by fascists anyways.
At least they're not hurting anyone. I shouldn't be Leafy is here.
Yeah, I shouldn't be the one she hurts because I fucked up. Nah, we ain't doing that.
So I assume Hera is heading back into Blue Rock to meet up with the party?
Yeah, and on top of that, I'm pretty sure Arca heard. Green. Because Libran did.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Like, more...
So what's your reaction?
Because you remember, you did see Hera kind of summon Gaster Blasters last session. You weren't there at the literal last session, but Arca did see Hera summon them.
And I guess that's the noise they make. Yeah, found out. Hera's growth is actually astonishing. She went from breathing fire to summoning Gaster Blasters.
Arca canonically watches Dragon Ball Z, so I wonder what... I'm trying to think of a DBZ.
Oh, yeah.
This too.
She also watches Dragon Ball Z.
Hanan goes up and attempts to give you a high five, as he attempts to, like, mold his very vine-like hands into a more solid hand shape. He absolutely fails, and it's just a bundle of vines, like, up high, kiddo! She's like, good for you.
Looks confused for a second, and then high fives confusedly.
That's the Ohio monster for you.
So, did you win?
Are
Yeah.
you winning?
Nice.
Are you winning, son?
She nods quite handily. Is like, yeah, I won. I didn't even take any damage.
And Aaron, what's your reaction to what you heard?
The classic...
It better have been robot.
The classic no-hit run from the old Undertow days. The old days.
The funny thing is that she doesn't have to do a no-hit run. She wants to hit every projectile.
So, how does Hera react to the Aaron going, those better have been robots?
She nods. And Aaron sighs with relief because
Well, I mean,
we could have had a lot worse situation on our hands had they not been.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it would have been harder to kill them if they were actual people.
they can. Yeah, because it would be a lot easier for them to read the situation.
Yeah.
And unequip their weapons because
That, or, they could run
robots
away.
can't do that. That too.
Yeah, like, robots...
But when you just destroy it in a single turn, yeah, nah. The other two probably should have ran away.
Oh, yeah. However, Thrash machines aren't exactly programmed to back down, necessarily.
Yeah.
And, I mean, to be fair, why would the government care, necessarily? Sure, they lose the machine, but as long as, you aren't stealing the parts from them, they can just salvage them and rebuild them.
The problem with that is... She disintegrated them. They aren't here anymore. There's not a piece to salvage.
Since you did use draconic lasers, technically I would say they were more just like incinerated or like heavily melted. The Rabot is gone, most of the Mecha-Rudin's gone, but like a good half of the Bloxerbot can be salvaged because like it's mostly just a lot of it's burnt and destroyed, but it's like mostly like melted.
Mecha-Rudin? Like Mecha-Sonic SMVC?
Kinda.
No way.
Not only that, it was a Mecha-Rudin Ranger.
Did you
And
say
she
the
just
line?
did that like it was nothing.
Did you say the line?
What line?
You know which line I'm talking about.
Oh, I'll crush you.
No. He did not say the line. In fact, he didn't say anything. Bro got deleted on the second turn.
Yeah, well, technically I was quoting Hera.
Yeah, that would be Hera. Not... yeah.
With that in mind,
I'll crush you!
I suppose what are you guys
Easy, son.
planning on doing here within Blue Rock Village?
Well, I think it's time we head deeper into the Blue Rock Village. There we go.
Alright then. Which way are you gonna head? You can head south back out, you can head north, east, or west.
We said deeper into the village.
So
that's probably mean north.
Have we gotten any bad looks because we have foreign people?
now Blue Rock Village is the place that isn't xenophobic.
Okay.
If you're looking for racist people, that would be probably Red Rock Village,
Texas.
or maybe Yellow Rock Village.
Why are there so many villages named after rocks?
Well, because look at what the buildings are made of. Look at, like, the town square flooring.
No, I get the symbolism. It's just, why are there so many?
Well, because they're each named after one of the three primary colors. Blue, red, and yellow.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
I don't
Red
know,
Rock
after,
doesn't
like,
have a map, but basically just imagine a recolor of Blue Rock.
Right now.
But,
So
like, less
is
interesting.
one town more racist than the other?
Yes.
Or are they like equal racism? Oh, okay.
Red Rock is extremely racist towards Lightners. They are all for King Aorta's laws.
Do they say slurs?
Probably.
I mean, I don't think we have slurs for Darkners and Lightners, so...
If they could, they would.
I mean, we could make some. I would say maybe Libran or Arca could make a intellectual roll to see if they could recognize if someone calls Aaron, Hera, or Non a slur. Like, I may say a word that seems that may seem like weird and out of place. I'll let one of them make a roll to see if they can recognize. Oh wait, that's a slur.
They're like, whoa! That's not cool, man.
Nah, Hera, she wouldn't say nothing. She'd just take a blaster and end his life.
Well, that's only if she...
You want to disrespect me like that? Nah, we don't do that. We don't play those games
Well,
around here.
here's the thing. Hera wouldn't know what a slur for Lightners or humans even. She may know one for humans, but that would be a light world slur used by monsters.
She's like, sheltered.
The cultural context of slurs and racism very, very, very much heavily depend on the history and culture of the people who live there in the area. The Dark World has had a very, very different history.
Vast. And very vast history.
Yeah.
In any case, we go north.
Alright, you're gonna go north?
Yeah. Because you wanted us to go deeper into Blue Rock. Well, we're going deeper into Blue Rock.
As you go deeper into Blue Rock, you find yourself at a... small little cluster of houses. What are surrounding what appears to be a little field.
Oh, please tell me, Jack. Please tell me you're gonna have the fucking yellow and red rock people have southern accents, because I think that'll be really funny.
I mean, it would be, but... it would be. As you look out,
Mr. Whiteface is just sitting there.
I mean, they're technically an enemy type, so they're just in the enemy's bag. I should probably put them.
Whiteface is an enemy.
Well, I mean, technically speaking. Well, here's the thing: Whiteface, Gaster, Euboa, and I think there's 2 other characters all play on the same fucking design concept. So you could totally make the joke that all these fictional entities, which are all implied to know they're fictional and break the fourth wall, hang out together. And all because they share similar aesthetics, or it's just that aesthetic is something those type of characters stick to. As you look out...
Oh, I'm hungry, so I'm not gonna be leaving y'all. I'm just gonna be listening to y'all.
With it, you see what appear to be 3 humble Hathies tending to their field.
Humble happy.
Hello, we come in peace.
What? The 2 in the back don't seem to notice you quite yet. However, the one in front waves to you. Hello, welcome to Blue Rock. As he seems to take his staff and go back to tilling and working his field. Though you do notice he does have a bit of a limp, or at least a limp equivalent to a happy.
Are you good?
Oh, I'm fine. Just a bit of a bum walking, bit of a bum walking limbs. That's all. Welcome. As you look around, you see what you can best guess. Look around further. You kind of see further in the distance other little clusters of farming areas or what may be other kind of work areas. You actually see right here at this little sign. Since Aaron and Libran are the closest, they read it first. Evidently, this is Farming Cluster A.
Farming Cluster A. Well, Aaron just... Well, Aaron would...
Should I make, should I redraw Arca's render?
It's your choice.
Looking at them, that style's kind of outdated a little bit to my more modern art style.
That's fair.
If I base...
Do it after the session. Just remember.
Not now.
Yeah, I know. I probably have to, base her...
Are we allowed to help the Hathies?
Yeah, you could if you wanted to. You can talk.
Kara takes her cold heart staff and uses that to help.
Oh my god. If they say, don't you lecture me with your $20 haircut.
Oh, hey there, kiddo. What, got an interest in farming?
Growing my own food, making sure that everybody else can eat. Yeah, sounds fun.
It's a useful skill to know.
Arca cooks like Sanji and Chi-Chi, I guess.
Cool now, nice.
Since Rousey's a cook, they would I think they would pick that up from Rousey.
We have a party cook too, Lamau. We have more RP stuff we can do and work with. With that in mind. Well, anyways, I suppose. it doesn't take much. It seemed like a lot of the work was already done, and what little was left, you two get done in like mere seconds, basically.
Huh.
So,
Well, she's happy to help.
much. Thank you, little one. Oh, well, suppose there are other things you could help around town. If you'd be willing to listen.
I'm willing to listen, sure.
Yeah, I got time.
Yeah, we got time. Aaron nods because, yeah, we got time. He looks at his non-existent watch. He's like, yeah, we got time.
Well, at the current moment, there have been some thieves kind of causing some troubles. Just some...
Orange mark on her face starts glowing real bright.
Just some... We
Almost
know who
an
they
angry one.
We know who they are. Just some punk kids stealing candy from stores and the like.
That's easy.
But they're causing a ruckus, and they're messing with shipments transferring from cluster to cluster.
So is this gonna be an after-school special where we teach the kids that stealing is bad?
I mean, if that's what
I don't know about you, but...
I mean, if that's what you guys want to make it into, that's what you guys could.
Here's gonna have a fun time.
That's the planet ass.
But I suppose that's mostly a problem messing with farming cluster A and I suppose B as well. But can't quite catch the kids. Knowing little buggers. You see them around. Don't rough them up too much, but if you could, just make sure they get caught and turned in.
Give us a description. We'll try to talk them into not doing it. See where they come from.
It's a group of 4 jigsaws, that's all.
Gotcha.
They ain't bad kids. They're just punks.
Maybe they come from a bad home life.
This is... Aaron thinks of this for a second. He's like, yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah,
maybe they just come from a bad home life, you know?
If you do this for it, I could give you something.
Oh, I got another question. I got 447.
Aaron pulls his little sister aside and says, and like talks in hushed tones to her and says, "We're going to do this, and you're not going to deal any more than 30 damage to each character. Or no, total. 30 damage in this fight total."
5447?
Yeah, 5447. Oh my.
You got me?
Do you get him, Hera?
And she nods, but doesn't seem very happy about it.
I don't got much to offer. Well, I'm merely a humble level 1 happy. I will admit, but I could give you some form of minor key item. Maybe something elemental. Who knows?
You got a weed patch? I'm kidding. No, don't make that cannon. Don't make that cannon.
Too late. It's a canon event.
Oh.
Oh, kiddo. As he actually grabs you and kind of directs you with, "Hey guys," he asked where the weed was. As these two laugh. As they then point to the 2 back 3 rows they're tending to.
And,
You misunderstand, brother. You misunderstand, brother, when Hera sees weed, she's like,
You know, it's a lot more...
She's not one for the law.
You know, there's a lot more you can use it for than just smoking, you know. It makes some of the best rope and clothing around.
Hemp, yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, hemp.
Arca's 17.
I'm fine.
It'd be 17, so like...
I thought wasn't Arca 16? Aren't they like the second youngest?
And Hera's 14.
Yeah, it's, like wasn't it Hera, Arca, Aaron, and Non-Tide, and then Ran?
Yeah, they'd be 16, but still, I think at that age, you could be.
I mean, considering the memes about Ralsei, this is our own world.
Yeah. Hey, Ralsei, check out this neat item I found from the Primordial Kingdom.
Check out this stuff I got from the Stacked Deck Kingdom. My child, you ain't got no idea. Pulls out like crystalline leaves. That glow.
You got no idea.
That glow with enchantment. Though I can't.
You got no idea how little you got right there.
You know, no, wait.
Though we can't exactly offer this. Just joking.
Yeah.
But you know what's?
Because that's kind of a bad look on YouTube.
You know what should play during when they see the weed, the Jurassic Park thing. Like.
No, don't. We'll get copyrighted.
Oh no!
Do not do that. Do not do that, please.
Don't
Anyway.
get us copyrighted. So.
Do not, actually, please.
All in all.
I'd like to keep this.
All in all, if you want to know more, there are probably some other things you could probably talk about. I mostly know about things messing around with the farming clusters, and clusters C and D for farming don't really report much issues. Granted, they're also quite a bit further away from here, so don't commune much with them.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
As
And Hera takes one last good look at the weed before, turning back to her brother. And, we're getting ready to head on and look for these idiot children.
Maybe they're not.
Oh, they chose the wrong time to start.
No. Wait,
Good.
maybe they come from a bad home life.
Hera really doesn't give a fuck. I'm gonna be
Hera
quite honest
has a malicious smile on her face, and Arca is very much aware of it and is very much worried. Is that basically the scene?
Arca wasn't.
Yeah, he's probably gonna try to do more than 30 damage in this fight.
It's like It's like fucking.
Basically,
Hera's no wait. It's like Hera's Sora and Arca's Woody trying to push Sora away. Let him cook.
I mean, Aaron
would be the one. Aaron would be the one to put his hand on her shoulder.
No,
Hold up.
he actually is wearing. He actually gave her a harness to wear. And there's gonna be a funny thing that happens next time something like that occurs, and she rolls high enough.
Oh no!
I ain't gonna spoil it for y'all, but it's gonna be funny.
Arca's good nature. They would want to help out.
They don't want to murder people. Yeah, I get it. Well, that's the opposite of Hera.
I mean, in context, you would be fighting children.
To be fair, she's also a child.
Send the child to go after the children.
Yeah, here's the thing though, they're not going to try and kill you.
No, I get that.
But
Hera understands that too, and she's about to use that to her advantage.
So Hera's gonna try and kill them.
Oh no.
That is Hera.
She's gonna try and actually murder 4 children.
Genocide would be like.
She is Kara from. She is basically Kara. But
No.
Hera's death. It's fun. Oh no, Kara's not evil.
Yeah.
The incarnation of Kara that is evil.
It's the player possessing Hera.
Yeah.
The
She
player
is similar to them. She gonna end the line.
Hey, was that fucking I'm scared?
Yeah, it's white. Not that one. Oops.
So it's supposed to be a representation of one of the Gaster pieces?
Yeah. I mean, you have to. Well, to be fair, Gaster, Whiteface, Euboa, and 2 other characters have the exact same fucking aesthetic. and they're all fictional characters who know they're fictional.
That's actually clever.
As you kind of
maybe they're all pieces of Gaster.
No.
Probably. Please, by all means, if Gaster wants to interfere and not let her kill these children, don't forget he has the power to do that.
Yeah. As you go around, you kind of see a Rudin kind of flipping around and messing with with some sort of a jewel in his hand.
Hera's curious for a second, look at the crystal, and is just like, what kind of crystal is that? What color is it?
It appears to be the same color as him.
A ruby.
Like a seafoam green?
Normal Rudins are like this more green color.
An emerald.
So it's like a ruby.
No, it's an emerald. Rudin Rangers are red. Rudins are green.
Yep.
It's a Chaos Emerald.
He then bites it.
And now she's just like, huh?
You're welcome.
What did you just do?
Want a piece?
Yeah.
She nods curiously.
Is Aaron gonna let this happen?
Hey, no, here's your card.
Well,
You're welcome.
it's a green crystal.
Thank
You're
you.
gonna think about it for a second.
And casual reminder,
Like-
they did in fact have crystal meth in their inventory for a time.
What?
He just smacks that crystal so far you don't see it no more. Nah.
My candy.
It's candy. Look, I'm sorry.
I was trying to...
I figured it was enough.
I was just playing a joke, because I could tell y'all were foreign, and don't know the healing items that we Rudin make.
Legalize weed.
He sighs, actually in relief.
Is this the only place that weed
Thank
is
you.
legalized in the... This is the
But
only
you
place
should have told me before.
This is the only place that weed is legalized in the Dark World?
No, it's legal in the Primordial Kingdom, too.
Okay.
Well, especially with the king being Rousey and all.
And, Aaron, you will notice, you kind of do hear from your hand a bit of a fucking laugh from Dioma. Fucking dumbass.
You want me to do that?
Come on.
You want me to do that instead of do it?
America.
Fat ass.
America. The Dark World.
You got.
I really did get got over there. Man, that was...
Oh well.
Man.
Oh well. As he then normally, Arca, you will notice Rudins normally make Choco Diamonds. This Rudin wasn't eating a Choco Diamond. Instead of pulling a tooth out, he instead pulls out his eye, as it then hardens into crystal, as a new eye then grows in its place.
Body horror shit.
Well, remember,
I mean,
it's implied Lancer
Aaron
is
takes
giving
into
you
consideration that we're in the Dark World,
Yeah,
so their biology is far different than human.
yeah.
Arca has fucking pure determination in their pants. Or, those aren't pants, those are more like, I don't know, like cloth piece, I'd say.
Hera, glad we, noms on that. Because she hungry.
Leggings.
She always hungry. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he takes a
We
bit
didn't
of
put
a...
it off, but she always hungry.
He bites about a fourth of it off, and then hands you...
Hera's-
lets you to bite
Hera's
a
like-
piece off. You just eat the whole thing, basically.
Hera's like,
Yeah, no. It's
Hera's
just
like
like
a-
Oh.
there's like a fucking shonen protagonist like Goku and Luffy and Naruto.
No, basically, yeah. She would eat like Goku. An adult Goku. Not just a kid Goku, an adult Goku.
So,
Gone in seconds.
anyways,
No, gone in milliseconds, actually.
want one to put in your inventory?
No, it didn't even go in the inventory. It
No,
just
he's
was gone.
asking if you want one to put in your inventory.
Oh. She said sure. Is she always hungry?
Congratulations, you now have a sugar crystal.
Sugar, like from Spooky Mom?
Wait a minute, doesn't that mean their eyes are made of sugar that hardens when they pull it out?
Kind
What does
of.
that mean?
To some,
Does that
maybe.
mean-
That
what
or
does that mean?
that or I mean, remember they have an entirely different biology. They could have they could use sugar to bond biological proteins together for their eyes.
What does that mean in like the context of the whole thing being like a game, them being game pieces? Like, did they have like sugary snacks into the
The whole thing
fucking-
of them creating healing items from their body is purely because they're darkners. Like, it's because, remember, they are actual living life forms within the Dark World. They use Light World objects as the fundamental basis for their elemental stability and their existence, as well as to help fuel aspects of their biology that they cannot fill in on their own. At least that's how, like, we run it for now. Because remember, Lancer's supposed to be a card, and he can create a cookie.
What's Rouse supposed to be?
I mean, Ralsei, we go with the idea that he's the shadow of Azrael, hence why he's the shadow race. Hence why Arca is a anagram of Kara.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I kind of figured that out session 1.
It's like,
I'm still thinking how they're gonna handle that in the canon series, though.
who knows, man, who knows. Kara might never appear in Deltarune ever. So it's just an entirely irrelevant thing, and it's just our own lore.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, sugar crystals are a healing item that are unique to the, campaign. So I do need to...
Are unique to the campaign? Okay.
Yeah. Because, like, version 1... Like, version... I'd say, like, version 2.0 is going to release with, like, chapters 1 and 2 of the campaign. Maybe chapter 1. But, like, the chapters after will be their own unique things that'll be released on their own. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, the idea behind chapter 1 is that it's just here to teach people how to play. Like, as something I've kind of reiterated multiple times over, to the point of redundancy.
Yeah.
Sugar crystals heal based purely on how much you like sugar. Or more accurately, like rock.
That's 100 health for Hera.
Like rock
That's
candy.
100 health.
So,
easy for Hera.
so full
Max
heal
health.
for Hera.
Instant noodles, snowman piece.
So specifically for Hera, it's a full heal. How about Eren?
Aaron, he's not particularly into sugar anymore. He likes the more non-dessert type foods.
Alright.
So probably like 10 HP or something like that.
Alright. That's respectable. With that in mind, I suppose we'll have to ask Limeran and Non on their own later.
What about Arca?
Arca, how much do you like sugar?
They're one of their favorite snacks is sugar. So like, is chocolate sugar or?
Chocolate is cocoa.
Chocolate
And-
and can have sugar in it, but it's not always sugar.
Yeah, it's not always sugar.
I don't know. They might like sweets. Like, since Kara is a fan of chocolate, they might like a lot of sweet stuff. But
So,
I'll say they like sugary stuff.
so
Like a
specific.
fairly.
Hard as shit.
So how much HP, or do you just want to go for the generic 1d8 roll plus your level?
Around 75% to 85% of your health, their health.
Alright, so it's a 2/3 heal.
Yeah, basically.
Alright. And for these guys, it'll just be it'll be the same as like the default Chogo Diamond roll, which will just be 1d8 plus whatever their level is.
For now.
Yeah.
Till we ask them.
Anyways, since I gave you one to your inventory, I can't exactly give you a second one. You'll have to ask someone else for another.
She's like, alright, I guess this is how that's gonna work.
It's a weird rule of our world for some reason. I don't get it either. Just for some reason doesn't work.
Alright. I guess she starts moving on to look for them kids.
Alright, you gonna head over to Farming Cluster B?
Probably. So do Hathies just, take care of the farming clusters? Are they all Hathies?
Not all of them. Some of those Hathies took care of that farming area. Who knows? There was a root in there. Who knows? Maybe there could be Jigsaws or rabbits to help tend to farms as well.
I would not expect a rabbit to help a farm. I'd expect him to eat the entire thing through and through.
Well, I mean, it depends.
You get high off the weed in the back.
It depends on what they're farming.
It's probably like fruits and not really fruits, but vegetables, right? Root plants.
Possibly various things. I mean,
well, if it's root plants, well,
probably
that's a rabbit's favorite meal.
And with it, you actually, as you kind of look around, heading towards Farming Cluster B,
we found them. Boys, we got them.
I mean, since you guys were all kind of looking for him, I presume.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, not only do you see these guys, you kind of see them more or less, because you rolled a 15 plus a 5. Because I'm considering this a group action technically.
So this is an intelligence roll or an intellectual roll?
I know this is literally just me rolling to see if you encountered them, and I just added how many guys there were, because it's like, there's literally 5 people actively on the lookout in this scenario, and you were literally walking over from a cluster of buildings through a wide open area, more or less, of just blue stone. And as you more or less walk over here, you see a small little wagon, and not only do you see the 4 Jigsaws who you're pretty sure are the kids who are stealing stuff, you literally see them as they're taking shit out of the fucking wagon.
Can I roll physical to see if I can just blast these fools into a non-existence?
No.
You're just gonna kill them straight up?
No, they're children.
She's a child. What are you saying? There's no point to be had here. She's also a child.
Yeah, it's even more reason why she shouldn't be murdering people.
They're the same age. Almost. But yeah, that's her.
So you're gonna try and cast Out of Battle? Which blaster?
She knows she can't do the Gaster's blaster outside of battle, so she's just gonna do her regular.
So real quick, Arca, you're gonna try and stop this, right?
Yeah.
And I presume Aaron's not.
If it catches them, and Aaron.
Aaron's is gonna try and do something about this as well, I assume.
Yep.
Try to rush the kids out of the way, like grab them.
No,
jump in,
brother.
like
You're gonna
jump
have
in.
to run a whole 300 feet over there. The blaster's already there. She summoned it there. To just...
Ooh, I
She's
know what
not...
they could do. I know what Arca could do. They could like try to jump in front of the blaster, do their boarding attack thing.
I'm gonna be quite honest with you. You're not going to save them by doing that. You know why? Blasters go through souls.
No, but they do have their own.
Blasters.
No, but they can shoot their own projectiles at it. And you're casting your spell out of battle, aka you have to roll. Okay, you've basically stated I'm committing to the roll. Arca hasn't stated that yet. They can just say I consume a tension bit and cast the spell without the roll.
We gotta do the.
And even then, that depends on whether or not you can even roll to actually cast the spell out of battle.
Yeah. So she is going to attempt to just blast these fools from the side.
Yeah. Maybe they could just like if I roll like.
That's not her dice.
Like, oh.
Yeah, you do have this large, oversized orange dice.
Makes it easier for me to read. Go ahead.
I forget. Was this be a Yeah, would it be a physical or an intellectual roll? Thinking about physical because you're trying to force it.
Yep. +3. And stop.
Wow.
6. She summoned the blaster.
No, you did not.
Hold on. You said the intellectual roll was 5 last time. So it's higher for physical?
What? Wait. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Intellectual. What do you
The
mean?
last time she rolled, she got more than a... You said the DC for the check when she first originally summoned these things
Outside of
was a
battle?
5.
Oh, right,
Outside
right.
of battle.
Oh, yeah, you do. You managed to summon a few. Granted, most of them immediately.
No, 1. She's putting all of her energy
right.
into
You
summoning
summon exactly one
one.
stable blaster out of battle.
Yes, that is the plan. And blast them.
So, Arca, are you going to use Dark Storm by just
Dark Blast?
Dark Blast.
What is Dark Storm?
Dark Storm is their projectile attack. Is their projectile?
I see.
It's a storm. It generates multiple projectiles. Dark Blast is the AoE.
Kind of like
remember?
hers. Yeah. Okay.
Arca, remember, Dark Blast is your AoE. Remember, Dark Storm is... Yeah.
I guess if I had to like
Anyway.
describe that, if I have to like describe that as like a move, that would be like no zone grenade, I think.
She was just like...
Now, in context, this is a storm attack, so he does generate... Let's see how many...
A lot of magic.
Yeah, a lot of... Actually, something I'm going to roll real quick. I'm just going to see how many ticks this construct is going to actually shoot for.
Yeah.
A full 4 ticks. Okay, then.
How much damage would these projectiles do? We got to
Well,
check.
now I'm trying to see how many projectiles is Arca going to generate to try and block this laser.
So it's going to do a full 4 ticks on 4 people. That's 12 projectiles. This is going straight down the line.
Oh, that's 3 projectiles.
Ow.
Oof. So he can block...
3 of 12.
Yeah, he can block 3 of these. The only other technically speaking, since he is casting it, if you want to force it, Arca... However, it's probably not going to work. So you have successfully protected 3 of these 4. Are you going to try any...
3... No, hold on. There's 12 projectiles because there's 4 projectiles per person, is it not?
Well, remember, you're summoning it out of battle.
Yes, but it would still use its correct physics. Just because we're at a battle doesn't change its physics at all.
By that logic, you only hit 3 of them. You literally can't hit the 4th. Because they would transition to the battle grid and they would go from this to this. So do you want?
right.
So do you want to just not hit any of them, basically?
Nah, she's gonna hit all of them.
So you hit one because using his dark storm projectiles, he is able to successfully save these three. Oh boy.
Sorry to.
And how much damage is these 4 ticks gonna do?
Sorry to interrupt, but how long are we gonna do this for? Because I gotta eat.
I already ate while we were talking, brother. I don't know how you didn't.
I can't bring my food to my room, so like I can't like multitask.
Alright.
I mean, after this, we could like pause the session maybe until you eat or something if you want.
I might need to like
So-
eat now though, but is that okay?
Oh yeah, and for those who are watching on YouTube thinking, oh, these people are going to see my comments, I don't watch the YouTube videos back. So, y'all haters can hate, but you're not gonna see me talking about it.
15 divided by 3, that's 20 damage, Jesus.
She damn near killed this motherfucker.
Hold up, I need to actually check what...
They're level 1 HP.
Let me actually go...
Hey, she stayed within the boundaries. She only did 20 damage.
Here's my question, is she hitting for lethal?
She's hitting for lethal.
She came up.
Oh,
She came off? You can't see.
alright. I'm gonna head on
Now
downstairs.
just
Or
Uh-oh.
say about you.
This is Arca.
Well-
What?
Thankfully,
I jumped when I didn't want to.
Non and Libran
So now
are
you
both dive
couldn't
bombing
get
to
the bell
protect
off.
this child.
And hold on. Aaron first.
Oh,
'Cause-
so we have 3
Hey,
people.
Taking the hit.
Yeah. So hold up, let me actually roll for these 3 to see if they pull something off. Because this is a...
Group action. Oh, by the way, she didn't even pull her hand out to her pockets for this. She just, eyes went glowy and a blaster spawned.
with it. So we have, since it's group action, we have a default of +3. Now we need to add all their physical. So that's a extra plus...
Which is +3. Oh, Aaron, or who doesn't have a physical?
Non doesn't have a physical. Libran does, though, and Libran has a 2. So this is a +6, so it's because it's 3, then the... Yeah, alright.
Alright. There you go.
Never mind.
You really gotta fuck this up to not do anything.
How did mine get knocked out so long?
16 plus
Good.
6. Oh, yeah.
22.
Yeah, they
They got in the way.
Yeah, they
They took the hit.
yeah. They don't just get the hit. They get the kid out of the way of the laser. Just barely. Like, just fucking barely. By the fucking skin of his teeth.
He out of there.
These 3, however, are unconscious, are like, absolutely, like, they're just paralyzed with fear.
they're gonna
More
need,
malicious smiling.
they're gonna need more therapy than Libran.
With that in mind,
Not even, like-
how are Arca and Aaron reacting to this? Because Libran and Non are not happy about that, because they absolutely could tell what you were going to do. Non is currently still holding the jigsaw, you know, keeping the kid from, like... He's currently cracking jokes to try and keep the kids from, like, collapsing into tears.
Hey,
And it was
he's
just like,
stop me if you
I
heard.
knew this was gonna happen.
He's like, stop me if you heard this one. A non-binary kid, a vegetable, and a human being all walked into a bar.
Oh, he does not do well.
He tells.
So, Arca, how do you feel about what you just saw and what you just had to do?
Just witnessed.
They're trying to like check on the kids.
Non's checking on keeping the kids safe right now. You haven't noticed they're like crying yet. You're still kind of focused on the fact that Hera just tried to murder 4 children.
Yeah, no, Ark is gonna try and scold Hera. end up for them, but like.
Well, what is Arca
Aaron
saying to
takes
them?
out a spritz bottle from out of nowhere, runs up to Hera and sprays her in the face before none of y'all can do shit.
You know where it comes from? You know where it fucking comes from? It's a temporary fusion of Mimi and King Dioma.
Yeah. They just said, nah, you don't get to do that.
No, bad gremlin.
Is this a PSA for me to like use a spit spot on my dog?
Partially, yes.
And to Arca, as heir of the, of the Dark World, more or less, technically, you kind of just saw what, while not literally your citizens, are still technically your citizens, since you are the prince of all Darkners, or the heir of all Darkner kind. You kind of saw your people, just like four literal children, almost get murdered.
And like, I don't agree with what this king's like doing, but you're kind of setting a bad example, Hera. You're kind of setting up a very bad example, Hera.
She is currently hissing at the spray bottle because she just got spritzed with it. She did not hear your speech.
Like, I can slightly understand what this king is trying to do. Slightly. Not all the way, but Hera, you kind of, like...
Yeah, no.
Libran actually suddenly speaks in a very soft voice. Hera, why did you do that?
She looks down for a minute, trying to find the answer of why the fuck he did that, and comes up with instinct.
Hera.
Because she didn't even make a physical facial movement. It was just, now it's there.
On site.
Can I say something?
On site.
I'm sorry for what I did earlier. I acted recklessly. And your brother has made more than sure to help me realize that. And now I see, maybe you and I are more alike than we first realized. Because if I were your age, back when I was young, I can't say I would have done the same. But we both need to understand that reckless behavior will only cause more problems. We are sent here to be heroes, not destroyers. There is an evil we must destroy, but...
This is not that evil.
This is not them. These are children. They're petty thieves. You and I both need to know better. And he steps back a bit. He actually kind of looks to Aaron a bit, hoping he didn't, overstep anything at all.
Nah, he nodded at you. He was like, yeah, that was a pretty good lecture.
Yeah, if we keep doing this, Aaron, you might be, being the evil that the king is trying to paint like this as. I gotta head out for a little bit just to eat. I'll be right back.
One thing you will notice fairly quickly is that you now do notice those Jigsaw kids are fucking crying. Non is struggling to stop them from crying. Arca's just gonna, as they kind of say that, they're gonna quickly kind of, head over to help Non with that.
And Aaron is having a real harsh speech with Hera about not doing that again.
I mean, to be fair, Aaron may feel slightly hypocritical. He did literally threaten to eat someone if he didn't become his weapon. Granted, that dude was attempting to usurp the primordial fountain, but, you know, it's still a bit somewhat the principle. He's kind of...
It's the principle, not really the action. And based on principle, he didn't do it, so...
Yeah. And with that in mind, I suppose what is Aaron saying to Hera?
Aaron is saying and talking about this. It's like, this is what we talked about before you even came here. You're reckless, you're violent, you have a malicious intent to murder people. We cannot have this on our team.
Oof. Damn.
And she's just taking this as if this isn't the first time she's heard this speech. Probably more like the second. Be honest.
So, you slightly cut out halfway through that sentence, so I didn't...
I said, that's probably more like the second or third time, to be honest.
Ah. You do hear slightly in the back of your mind, Gaster does say, well, I did bring you here for your violent tendencies. Random civilians is not exactly the person I was hoping you'd be directing that at, Hera. Like, even he...
realizes
even he kind of understands, like, yeah, you do need...
Bro, you fucked up.
He's confident.
Should also realize,
like, he's confident that like things will work out. It's just like, you know, he's like he does feel the need to say,
kind of a little close to your cap.
You should make sure to pay attention. You know, like, not everyone needs to get incinerated.
Since he's in her mind, he's going to get some insight that this is actually her instinct. 100%, she didn't tell a fib.
True.
So it's almost, you know how you fight or flight senses?
Ah, yeah.
He just saw that kick off instantaneously right before she hit that blaster.
Yep, and as he's looking back on it, he's like,
it's always fight. It's never flight.
truly, little one, you were changed that day. Did your mic cut out, or did you not hear me?
No, I heard you. I just haven't said anything because I need to hear in response to that. The moment you said day, her scar flared up again. And she had clutched her fists, you know, like...
Libran would take notice.
Trying to hold something back. This magically augmented creature is having some problems taking care of themselves. She, on the other hand, she wasn't stuck in a book for 15 years. She was blasted in the face with raw magic, bro. She's lucky she's not a Gaster.
Yeah, kinda. It's not a bad way of saying it.
That kind of stuff's gonna damage your psyche, you know, with or without the memory of it happening. So, yeah. He realizes he may or may not have fucked up. A little bit.
A wee little bit.
Just a wee little itty bit. He might have fucked up slightly.
You will also notice those children have stopped crying.
Oh?
Arca seemed to have...
So having their prince on their side.
Arca seems to have very much helped Non calm the kids down. Whatever kind of jokes Non was telling before really weren't hitting.
And his were.
Apparently, Arca's where they were telling the better jokes.
Well, hopefully this is a lesson to the children. Don't fucking steal. Because you don't know who you pissed off.
You actually then hear, like, Brown, as they're round back, yes, like, basically, like, nervous yeses, as like, presumably they're saying they'll never steal again, probably.
Yeah.
And
even though it was quite violent, it got the job done.
Yeah.
In her mind, part of this is a win. Part of this is, I fucked up and I don't even know why.
Trauma, man. Trauma changes you.
And she became quite a violent person on that day.
Yep. Something you
And that's why a man was, the child, who was 2 years older than her, got fucked up so badly. It's like a fight or flight sense always hitting that fight. It's not flying anywhere.
You will notice two adults come out like, hey, yo, what's going on here? Huh? What was all that noise?
Era just looked at them with a cold numbness in her eyes.
Is Aaron gonna say anything, or?
Aaron is gonna be like, he covers her face. This situation is handled. The children could have gotten hurt, but we're not. He smacked her face a little bit because of that.
Is he gonna mention that they've caught the thieves?
Yeah, we've caught the thieves for you.
Oh. Good. Make it easier to ship things across town.
Slightly worse for wear mentally.
What do you mean by that?
They got scared real bad.
They walk around the corner. The jigsaws are still, like, shaking. You guys actually notice as you look over to them as well.
She actually scared the living shit out of them.
Yep.
They didn't expect to get caught.
Not only did they not expect to get caught
by the wrong person at the wrong time.
Oh, yeah. As the two, they go out and they scream, "We'll never steal again," as they, like, basically hug them.
The pawnmen?
Oh, yeah, they're terrified. Well, remember, these kids probably live here. Like, like, these pawnmen...
And a foreigner just comes in and just...
Like, basically... Alright, relax.
Their lives flash before their eyes.
Just... As long as you don't... Hell... One of them actually looks back and is like, the hell did you do to them?
Aaron says she really, really scared them, and smacks her face again because fucking you scared the shit out of them. Don't do that again.
Anyways, well, I suppose we'll probably call the authorities and tell the other farm clusters about this. Tell the other clusters about this.
He nods and says, "Thank you. Have a nice day, sirs."
The kids are going to... The kids are like, we're gonna go home. And they fucking sprint home. As fast as they fucking can.
I haven't seen kids run like that since I was in the football field.
Even faster than that.
Yeah. He's looking down at her like, "You very nearly killed these children. You better not fucking fuck this up again." Type shit is like, she knows, because they're siblings, she knows what that look means.
It's the I swear to fucking
and sort of
God.
tries to nod, but can't really do it because she has no idea how to stop herself. It's just, 1 minute she's acting normally, the next minute...
Murder.
Some sort of excitement occurred, and murder.
Suddenly,
She blows at every possible point she can blow on.
Suddenly, extreme violence.
Anytime she enters a combat scenario, and that was so violent that she didn't even use TP to do it.
Something you will notice, this entire time, a Bloxer has just been in the field, working his field.
He don't give shit. Like, I need to get my paycheck, bro. I don't.
You know that, like, you know
I'm
the
not
fucking...
paid to humor these people.
It's the this is the glancing monkey gif.
The who?
That gif of, like, the monkey that, like, glances over and is like, I didn't see shit.
I didn't see shit. No thanks. Not getting involved.
Nothing happened. I didn't see nothing. Ain't nothing happened. Nope.
Ain't nothing happened here. Not today. Not today, sir.
I totally didn't witness a 14-year-old sociopath try and murder a bunch of 12-year-olds.
Attempt murder. And he gets back to his work. I'm guessing.
What?
And he's like, you know what? As punishment, you're not allowed to make food today. You're not allowed to eat other food right now. Stay hungry. You're not gonna die. A few hours of not eating isn't gonna kill you.
Well,
You have to wait for supper.
Not right now, at least.
Yeah, she's gonna have to wait for supper and not have any snacks, essentially.
So I assume you're probably going to head back to Farming Cluster A to talk to that Happy?
Yeah. So head back.
As you fairly quickly...
And I presume that Happy heard that whole...
he heard a laser, he just doesn't know the context. He just assumes you caught the thieves. He didn't hear anyone screaming in agony, so he assumes no one's dead. And if someone had died, I'm pretty sure the guard would...
It would have heard it.
Yeah, the guard would be pretty active right now.
And they're not, so...
Hey, did you catch the thieves?
Aaron steps forward and is like, yeah, we catch the thieves. Honestly, even though the way she did it was quite violent, I have to give her props. She was very efficient today.
Alright, well...
Yeah, of course says that not near her ears, even though she heard it anyway. She has enhanced hearing. Glasses be like... When you have worse of one sense, it's better in another.
And with it...
So,
the Happy
even though he just in hushed tones said that to him, the Happy.
I can give you about 1 of 4 items, really.
Them being?
I could give you a weapon, armor piece, a healing item, or a minor key item that could just kind of be used by item masters for things.
I'll take the minor key item, please.
Or a tool for forging stuff. After all, our main shopping center in Town Square does have a smith.
Yeah, like he says this. I'll take that minor key item, please.
Alright then.
Of course, he can help himself. He's an item master. He's gonna take the minor key item.
With that in mind... Alright then, a quick moment.
Yeah.
Ichi, ni, san. As suddenly, he plunges his own vines into his own chest. Violently, as plant fluids kind of slightly spew from him. You know that, like, thing in the center of his chest? That heart icon?
Yeah,
basically,
that's what he just took out.
Kinda. More or less. And from it, he tears out what appears to be an anatomically accurate human heart made entirely of plant. Like plant material. Like it's plant flesh. That then, like, petrifies almost into a seed-like item.
He takes this, and not even shakily, he puts it in his back pocket. He's like, oh, shit. Y'all are kind of violent. I guess she wasn't really that out of pocket, was she?
You've got the seated heart.
Though, now the question is, why the fuck would a Darkner grow a human heart?
Well, you have to remember, he's giving you some sort of artifact that you can, like, harness for some reason. That you can harness. It's the seated heart.
Oh yeah, I know, but
it's
why the fuck does he have it?
Well, presumably he probably morphed it into looking more like a human heart. For, like, magic reasons. In all actuality, he probably doesn't even have a heart. Since, if I recall, Hathies are plant element, aren't they?
Are they?
I believe so, actually, yeah.
Are Hathies plant element? Can you go check that? Because I don't see a heart being made of plant.
No, they're a heart element. It's what it is.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. He specifically is heart plant, we'll say.
A very odd friend you have there, but sure.
Well, I mean, if I recall, I believe the main, like, bosses are Lancer and King equivalent have plant element, and they're based on Hathies as well. So the idea is that, like, plus they're green, so I just go off the idea that they're probably some plant-like organism anyways. You know?
That's racist.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to think... Well, I mean, realistically speaking, I'm trying to make them, like...
They don't have vines.
Well, I mean, they have, like, tendrils that look like vines.
I said eyes.
Yeah.
E-Y-E-S.
Sorry, it sounded like you said vines for a moment there.
Nah, he has vines. They're at the bottom right there. You can see them.
Yeah. So it's like,
Really
they
well.
seem very plant-like, that's all. I guess that's what I'm getting at. Basically, the seated
I
heart...
guess that's why you have them out in the field.
Yeah. The seated heart is an artifact that is, like, both heart and plant element. How it's used, it's go a bit further into detail. I suppose that depends on, like, if you use it for something in battle.
I mean, he could technically just fuse this with Gigaheart Man over here.
Probably. Though he'd probably have to merge it with the bullet hole weapon first, since that would be easier.
Yeah.
Plus Dioma is a fighter, not an item master. So.
Well, the item master is performing the merge.
Hey yo. So, real quick, Arca, you were able to help Non calm down those children, because Non could not do it on his own. Yeah, basically, he told, like, one joke and they all started crying, so you kind of had to go over there.
Was it like an edgy joke?
I don't know. I mean, he was making a passive roll, and he rolled a 3.
If it was an edgy joke, they would have laughed with their kids.
Nah, it wasn't edgy. It just didn't help at all.
It was just bad.
Yeah.
It was just bad. It was a bad joke.
Yeah.
It did not land.
You have now gone back, and you now have a new minor key item in your inventory: the seated heart. You had just casually watched a Happy tear out a part of his body.
To be honest, what have we expected now? Somebody's torn off part of their hammerhead, which in theory contains part of their brain. So,
But dark biology is different.
that's what I'm saying.
Again,
We're kind of used to this at this point.
Again, there's pure determination in Arcus pants, cloth leggings.
This has nothing to do with determination, by the way.
It's just
You
I know,
just
I'm just
witnessed
saying-
somebody tear out a fucking part of themselves.
I know, but like I'm saying that dark biology is different.
it's a fundamentally different thing in how it kind of works, because like the Dark World has had to, for all intents and purposes, the Dark World has had to function in an entirely different way in order to even allow life to be possible. It's a fucking miracle life is in the Dark World at all, really.
It's a miracle life is in the Dark World at all.
Can you guys hear me, or are your mics cutting out?
No. We can hear you. It was just, we heard that in the background. I was like, really? Or I was at least like, really?
With that in mind, you now have the Seated Heart, a partially petrified, anatomically accurate human heart-looking-esque thing that is made of plant flesh.
You know, it would make more sense for a halfie to just pull out like the heart-shaped thing and just have vines sticking out of it from the back.
I mean, that's kind of what he did, though it's, you know, just a lot more violent. Because that's apparently how I describe things for some reason.
Why do you do that?
Well, I mean, according to Lancer, when he gives you a Lancer cookie, he says he has to regenerate. That implies he's... That implies, like, when he
does a what?
When he gives you a Lancer cookie.
Oh.
Yeah.
That implies that he's eating a burger with no honey mustard.
It's like... it's implied that he's, like, giving a piece of his body to you. And
I imagine it works like when he's regenerating, it works like Namekian regeneration, or like how Cell regenerates.
Who knows? Maybe. Toby's
Well, Cell's is a lot faster than...
Did Boo regenerate, or...?
Yeah.
Boo regenerated all of the damage, bro.
That in mind.
I know
He's
he's
even
like
better regeneration than the Mechians, and that's saying
I know he tanked a lot of the hits, and like did he regenerate anything? Oh yeah.
No, he always, all of the time.
As we keep on going, are you guys going to keep going around into other parts of town? Northeast, south, or west?
Now, you said Arco watches Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Hera makes a comment. It's like a freaking fired a Kamehameha. Now, what's Arca's reaction to that?
Do not invoke the use of Master Rosie's fabled move in such a negative way.
So you watch too?
Yes. That's what I do down here. Funimation is basically the only streaming service we have, so...
So you know that there are others? Question, does she have her Light World phone down here?
Light World...
Out here?
Light World technology tends to not function properly when in the Dark World. While you can still more or less technically open applications, you can't take calls...
No, she's not opening... Yeah, she's going to be opening an application. Well, just opening her phone screen and scrolling through all the streaming service apps that she has on her phone.
Oh, if she's not actually trying to open any of the apps, then yeah, that's fine.
No.
She can show those.
Wait, there's a Dragon Ball Kai? What is that? That's what Ark is saying. They don't have Kai. They don't have Kai on Funimation, so the joke is that they haven't watched Kai, they only watched the original, so like they would see Kai on Hulu. Kai is on Hulu, so they would like see that and like whoa.
Except they can't really open Hulu at the moment. Like they can't access Wi-Fi with a Light World phone. If they had like the right device, they could theoretically. But
she probably downloaded all of the stuff that she wanted to watch.
Oh yeah.
Hera, what is
and so
Kai?
she opens Hulu. Kai is a dub
Hulu,
of fans.
Bulu.
I heard you.
Bulu.
Kai is a dub that I think fans made. I'm not entirely sure, but
No,
it's funny.
it was official. It was official.
So it
This
was a dub that it was a weird translating dub that was
what is
official.
Okai's? It has shorter episodes. Like, what is that about?
So they pack more information in a short amount of time rather than just for 5 episodes straight.
Wait, they got rid of. They get rid of the filler.
I didn't hear that. What?
They get rid of the filler.
Yeah, they got rid of some of the filler, I think.
I know all this, but like, Arca doesn't. So,
Oh yeah, understood.
anyway, let's continue on. We have more important things to do than talk about anime, so like, let's go.
I mean, do we? She's like, do we?
I mean, you could
Yes,
go by one
we
of.
do.
I mean, you could go to one of the other clusters. You could go to like one of the work clusters.
I mean, yeah, C&D.
The work cluster. A lot of media has ruined certain words.
Or do you guys want to leave Blue Rock already?
I mean, Hair is kind of already done with Blue Rock, having so many bad memories already crop up here.
I mean, you could go to like the main shop building and visit that Smith, see some unique custom items, and buy some new things.
Yeah, that's Aaron's idea, but Hair is just like, I want to go. I'm sort of just done with this place. I just want to leave, bro.
I'm not too like. What's the word? I'm not in a rush to check out Yellow or Red Rock. Honestly, they don't, especially with light news here. I'm not too keen on going into places that will, you know,
Want to kill us?
they'll discriminate against our friends. Actually, Jack? What's the like racial level at? Like, what is does Yellow Rock like? They just close their windows whenever they start walking through town.
Yellow
Red
Rock is a
Rock-
fairly open-minded town culturally. It's just a very, very important town for in terms of like the actual lifeline of the kingdom. It's a mining town, so a lot of federal workers are there making sure it's safe. So like the kingdom can have like a steady supply of gold not really gold, but materials they can use for construction.
But gold is a pretty good,
yeah,
gold's a pretty good color for this because they're Yellow Rock.
Yeah. Like, they don't use gold for money here in the Dark World. They have dark dollars for that, which is an energy-based currency, so it's, like, a lot more reliable, technically. However,
I mean, yeah,
gold
somehow find a vein of gold that's so massive that you actually lower the value of gold in the world.
Is the Dark World in depth like the U.S. is?
Now, you have to remember, dark dollars are a currency that are generated from tension points. It's a literal energy-based currency based on interaction. Like,
I got you. So it's like would getting into battles be like some sort of job for some darkness? Like, would they see it like some sort of like?
It's why Party Dojo.
You know what I mean, right?
It's why Party Dojo is a thing. There are like being a professional show fighter, because like historically,
but it's like more. You just make money out of nothing, basically.
Yeah. Well, technically, it's the literal energy. It's the literal energy left over from fighting, like the literal tension itself becoming physical. And because of it, there's like an exact value to it, so it can't go up or down. So it's like the perfect stable currency to use it basically everywhere.
Nice.
Fair enough.
Gold is still used as a bartering tool in the Dark World, fairly common, because it's a very powerful alchemical tool, as well as a partially magical metal. And also partially...
No, it's very magical.
As well as holy.
If you want magic stuff, you want gold.
Yeah, as well as holy, too.
So basically, with gold, what happens with it is that it's so magically sound, you could use it as a part of a magical weapon and have the magic go through the gold and be amplified by it.
Yeah, things like that. Alternatively, you could use gold dust in, like, alchemy to heavily enhance the effects, because gold is pure. It can be used to remove debuffs because it is, because it's the holy metal.
Exactly. So that's why it's expensive, because it's good.
Yeah. In context, in the Dark
Nothing
World,
good ever comes free, brother.
Yep. In context of the Dark World, gold is a bartering tool mostly. If people are using it as a currency, that's a sign of being primitive.
Yeah.
At least in the Dark World.
I mean, gold is actually so malleable, you could shape it with your hands, but it's so different with magic.
Yep.
So, yeah, Hera wants to see what this whole yellow rock is about, too.
Oh boy. Oh god, now I have to create yellow rock.
Hera's pretty hard set on going to Yellow Rock after this place, not Red Rock. Nobody wants to go to Red Rock.
Oof. I was hoping you guys would maybe want to go to, like, that main shopping building so you could see some of the new custom items that
Oh yeah, for right now, that's what we're gonna do, just to seek curiosity and whatnot. But after that, we're probably gonna head out.
Alright. To Yellow Rock?
The whole...
On your own entire adventure?
Well... I mean, if nobody follows Hera, she's gonna make it there on her own.
Oh dear.
And she can take care of herself.
She's
Yeah,
doing that pretty
that's
well.
That's exactly the
recently.
problem, though.
Yeah.
She can take care of herself.
But she's not
And
gonna,
everyone
she's
around
gonna,
her.
She's gonna take care of everyone else.
And she can take care of whatever problem is thrown at her, and that's a problem. If nobody's there with her, she's just going to destroy the entire town, and Aorta is about to lose all of his material.
Oh yeah, a lot of
Because obviously someone's gonna fuck up and piss her off somehow.
Like, the
And the
general
moment
citizens
excitement occurs
of Yellow Rock aren't gonna go after you. However, the soldiers will not only have to do so because of the law, but they'll also do so because given partially the history of, Lightners betraying Darkners to some degree, while many Darkners still worship Lightners culturally, many governments understand the caution that is needed given the history. It's an ingrained...
And the moment they try to put cuffs on her, she's gonna break them and kill them all.
They'll be like, listen, kid, just turn around and go back to Blue Rock. Alright? Keep walking forward, and then things will be a problem. Alright? Just turn around. Hang out with the character. Just... This is...
She's gonna ask why.
And it's like, this is... Because you're a Lightner, and under the current law, we can't let you in here. Especially at one of the most important towns on the fringe of the frontier. Basically, it'd be a situation where, like, they do everything in their power to try and convince you to just walk away. Like,
are they gonna roll for that, or are we just gonna say yay or nay?
Well, I mean, you're not at Yellow Rock. This is just a theoretical thing, remember?
No, but if that were to happen, would we be rolling for that?
Oh, yeah,
or is that just a yay or nay on man?
I'd say it's a partial yay or nay. I'd have them roll to show, like, how effective they are, to, like, show how soft their voice is, how kind they're trying to be, and, like, how clearly difficult this is for them. And, like, how, like, you can see how,
deny a child access to see the biggest thing that they have. Like, basically, it's a cultural thing for them, and they have to deny this kid access because of his race, because of her race.
Yeah, it's like, you would see that, like, they're genuinely good men who really, really just
don't want to hurt you.
Yeah, who really just want to just sit outside, do their job, and go home at the end of the day.
You don't have.
And they know if they start a fight with a lightner who's magically augmented, they might not come out the other side.
Or worse, they're gonna win, and they're gonna murder a literal child.
It's a lose-lose
situation for them.
Yeah, that's like... However, at the current moment, you said you
So
wanted to
what
check
if
out...
there were darkners that came with them, to, like, keep them in check or whatever? So they're gonna let you in
They'd probably...
like that, or?
They would probably still try to arrest them, because it's like, you know, this is a federally protected town. Like, this town is, like, technically under federal military watch. So, they literally cannot let you enter unless you're in handcuffs.
Oh, you know what to do.
I mean, to be fair, if they're if they have the restraints on them.
Oh yeah, like if you have darkners with you, and
yeah,
you know, like they
darkners.
it's like it's just a case of like they'll probably tell you, you know, one of them will probably say, "For the love of God, do not let any of the military officers see you. Stay on the close end of town," something like that. Like, they tell you to stay out of one specific part of town, because that's where the military part is, you know?
Basically, stay out of the mine, please.
Yeah. So I assume...
Because that's probably where the military is at, trying to defend themselves, defend their mine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
If I recall, Hera is willing to let, like, Arca and Eren kind of check out the main shopping center to see, like, what new custom stuff you can get. Because, like, I'm gonna make, like, a whole ass new list specifically for this shopping center. Like, specifically just for stuff from the Stacked Deck Kingdom.
Okay, that's it.
Sadly, I have not yet written it yet.
But do you have ideas?
Oh yeah, I have plenty.
There you go. Then you can use that as a list for now.
As you step in, what you see is is a big building with 3 main signs. Primary shop with the center sign saying Market Building. One side saying produce and healing. The other saying labor and this one saying things like labor, offering various lists of like types of labor jobs they have from various people and the various. Basically, like, they're just, like, massive lists of all the various people. Because this is basically a giant flea market building with a skylight in it.
Huh. Nice.
So as you walk...
Now, Hera is kind of curious on the produce. She hungry.
As you kind of look around, you see a very large... It's very much a rectangular building with, like, an oval path on it. You see a skylight in kind of its center part with, like, various stands in the center area as well. You also see sort of, like, some grassy areas, implying that, like, they might have, like, small little garden areas for, like, people to relax and, like, have tea or the like in.
Speaking of, I saw Arca T generation on this sheet. What's that about?
Arca merged their dagger with a item for like, I think it was like 150 dark dollars, and something they can do is they can generate Arca T for 32 TP. They can generate an item. Granted, unlike traditional Arca T, I believe technically they have to use it in the turn. And they don't get a cup back for it, since the cup is the dagger.
So, speaking of tea, I think Arca would be the type to correct someone if someone said chai tea.
You said you were going around the produce section?
Eren is keeping a hand on her just to make sure she doesn't buy anything or steal anything, because Lord knows.
As you go around, you see various unique fruits and vegetables you've never quite seen You know, it's like you see unique forms of plant life entirely unique to the Dark World. You see various forms of root plants with incredible colors, beautiful patterns that you've never knew were possible for a plant, for a root plant to have. You see strange crystalline structures that apparently are grown like plants, so they're considered produce. You also see
anything's edible if you try hard enough.
Well, remember, crystals grow, so if you could figure out a way to grow crystals out of nutrient material,
yeah.
You notice quite a lot. You also notice an aisle entirely dedicated. Well, not an aisle. It's stand entirely dedicated to nothing but like card darkener healing items. So like spade cookies, hearts donuts, choco diamonds, club sandwiches, sugar crystals, heart cakes, spade. Like you see, like all sorts of unique. Specifically, they're healing items. Specifically, You also.
She's hungry. She's drooling at this stand. Aaron is desperately trying to pull her away, but because her physical is higher than his, she has the potential to be stronger than he is.
Librand is going to help.
So they're kind of just.
Librand is going to help with that, and noticing the slobbering child attempting to literally bite the candy out of the stands.
No.
Look, no, Hera, no. We need to pay for that first.
Or not paying for it because you don't deserve this candy. It's a punishment. You're not supposed to eat till supper.
You guys will notice, like, you do have enough kind of, like, general foodstuffs for, like, non-healing. Like, basically, like...
Like an actual meal?
Yeah, like, I don't have it written down because they're, like, not special items that do things. But, like, unless it's, like... Basically, unless you guys literally leave town and don't take your stuff with you, you guys have about, like, still, like, at least 3 days worth of food.
Yeah, Aaron, the jock, gonna start, buying produce.
Mostly...
And produce that he knows Hera knows how to cook. Like potatoes, or whatever is similar to a potato. Carrots, broccoli, even some cheeses.
Alright, then I suppose...
Pasta.
Alright, then that would be an intellectual roll for Aaron, then.
For him?
Well, I mean, if he's looking for, like, if he's trying to find produce that he knows, Hera could cook, based on, like, what it looks most like, I would say to some degree, yeah, he would need to, like, use his mind a bit to try and figure out what would be the best analog.
Oh yeah, speaking of, what does determination do? The 100 TP version?
Oh. Determination, for exactly one encounter, you can change one rule. Yeah, that's...
Okay.
It's very powerful in context, however, for the most part, it's mostly powerful because, like it's so open, you can do, like, a lot with it, even if it's only one thing. It's like the D&D wish spell, except you don't have the negatives. Wish is a very...
To be honest, most DMs don't have negatives for wish, even despite what the book says, that there's a 33% you can never cast the wish spell again. Yeah, no, we don't give a fuck. Go cast wish as many times as you want.
Yeah. Except the difference is, like, it's not permanent. It's only for that battle. For instance, you can do some, like, really crazy bullshit with it, depending on how you change the rules, but...
So you become Jebel for a small amount of time?
You can basically change one rule.
Reading your own rule?
Yeah, more or less. It's one rule for this one specific moment.
You cannot damage me.
Yeah, that is... it's stupid, but it would work.
You cannot damage my party.
Oh, yeah. The only problem is,
yes.
theoretically, they could then, you know, technically still hit you until you're tired and use sleep spells.
Back.
4 plus 2. That's a 6. Gee, Aaron has no idea what the fuck to look for in terms of, like, okay, what's a carrot equivalent? What's a potato equivalent? What would count as, like, beef equivalent or something? Like, my man is... or, like, a jerky equivalent. Like, my man is, like, kinda lost.
Oh my god. So, he's gonna ask for help from somebody who apparently is supposed to be living here. Libran.
Libran would have a far better idea of, like, the general plant and things you could eat in the Dark World. They'll take it up and be like, don't worry, I got this. I got a good idea of the parallels. And as he then grabs apparently what the equivalent of a carrot is, as he grabs a glowing neon blue root vegetable. That doesn't... It really doesn't look like a carrot either. Like, it's like... it looks like a fucking silly straw. But apparently that's the carrot equivalent.
Good to know. So he, starts putting stuff in bags in order to weigh this stuff so that they can buy it. Because Hera, she don't need to buy heat. All she would need is water and a stainless steel pot.
Which luckily you do have. It's like, you do have, like, Ralsei did give you that, like, Ralsei basically gave, basically his adopted child, camping supplies, as you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Like, you have a pot and a pan and a strainer.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's about all you need, really.
Especially with her being able to produce heat on her own. Hell, her entire body is warm to the touch, so she's constantly in a fever.
You also notice some new healing items that are that you've never actually seen before in the Dark World, Hera. Well, Aaron, more accurate. You see, what apparently is a meal. Apparently, what you can best guess is some sort of pudding-like meal.
Pudding.
That is like from reading the description on, like, the sign, a mix of, like, various vegetables with, like, with cinnamon and sugar in a freeze-dried paste, kinda.
That sounds interesting, actually.
It apparently heals, it's a completely random amount of HP, but it heals 4d4s worth of HP.
So the minimum you're in at 4, maximum you're gonna get 16.
Yeah. I mean, it's not much, but it's like, all things considered, that is it's not too bad. I mean, it's about the same as it's only like 15 more than a dark candy.
How much is a dark candy and heal for? How much does a dark candy heal for?
Dark candy heals, I believe it's just a straight 4. And I believe it's... yeah, it's just... a dark candy is just 4 HP for 40 dark dollars. So it's like for 15 more, you have a dark candy that can, like, potentially heal more on average.
Alright.
And it's, like, apparently called, like... it's apparently referred to as, like, it's, like... it's just called, like, produce paste. It's produce paste. It's literally labeled produce paste. You'd think they'd, like, actually call it something more. Like, you straight up look at the stand owner, And you notice it's a pawn man. A pawnman. Given what you...
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, given what you kind of know, like, they're not much... They're a culture of heavy collectivism and individualism, so they tend to do a lot of very basic things. So they like call things very literally what they are, because you then look over to another stand that's selling the exact same product more or less, but with a different recipe, and it's called produce pudding B. Like, literally called the Produce Pudding 2. It's Produce Pudding and Produce Pudding 2.
He wanders off to actually, get his farmer's market type stuff. Cheese. You can't fuck up cheese, bro.
Oh yeah, cheese is the same everywhere. If things can produce milk, you can make cheese.
Yeah. Cheese, milk, that sort of thing, pasta noodles.
Like how you can cheese boss fights with Hera.
Oh, trust me, you're gonna be eating like kings if Hera starts cooking for y'all. Kings, queens, and those who do not prefer a genderized term.
Arca, as you notice, they're over there more on the food side. Is Arca more over on like the weapon side and the like, or are they over on the food side as well?
What we have here?
So is Arca on the food side or the weapon side?
They go to the weapons side.
As you look around, you kind of see various different weaponsmiths, as well as a few people here and there, as well as some... Though you do notice not all of them are blacksmiths. Some of them are, in fact, selling weapons that can more or less be made by hand. Like, for instance, you actually...
Well, a darkener, yeah, but by a lightener, you don't know the technique.
For instance, you see some, like, basic generic spears that were clearly just kind of hand-carved with some metal.
I mean, hand-carving a tool is kind of, they're going to charge you a lot for the labor, not really the item.
Yeah. Well, remember, like, it's like, you go over to see, like, a person selling spears, and you see, like, a lot of just generic spears that were very clearly... Like, they're very clearly well-made and good quality spears, but, like, they're not anything special, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, they would be, like, kind of like starter equipment.
Yeah.
Like, they might add the spade element to you. They might deal spade element damage, but that's about it. You do notice... you do notice some weapons are more... You do notice, however, there are some special weapons of special types, a few here, that are noticeable, if you would like to kind of peruse a few of any category. Because at the current moment, the current categories you can see, they have swords, spears, throwing weapons, axes, as well as kind of surprisingly, sword spears / naginatas, or more accurately, polearms.
Yeah, naginatas. That's what a naginata is, bro.
Yeah,
what do you mean, sword spear?
Well, because sword spear is its own weapon type, technically. Like, there is a weapon called a sword spear. Like, there are...
For when the length of a spear wasn't enough, you have a sword spear.
Yeah. And there were even variants, too. There were short sword spears, cleaving sword spears, or great sword spears. Granted, sword spears...
Oh, Lord.
Granted, sword spears weren't often used because they were very deadly weapons. They were also very...
But they're very unwieldy.
Yeah, they were very high skill weapons that really weren't worth training mass amounts of armies for. So it was like, if someone had a sword spear, it meant they were a knight specifically from like a group who trains with sword spears. Like, they were a specialist.
Or they're a person with a weird hobby.
Yeah. Like, sword spears were a specialist weapon. No, they've got whips, throwing weapons, swords, axes, and sword spears, which are a specialist weapon, which, you know, surprising. Like, it's not specific, like, they have pole arms, but, like, they specifically state they're a sword spear shop. Like, for instance, like, you look at them, like, you see, like, they have a few naginatas and a few halberds, but, like, they have mostly sword spears.
Man, naginata is basically like, if you're looking at the blade, it looks kind of like a saber, doesn't it?
Kinda.
It's not, a saber's the kind of sword, so
Yeah.
it would still fall under the category of sword spear.
Yeah, true. I mean, there are some naginatas with a lot more axe-like blades.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
And that, well, you would call that closer to a halberd rather than a
sword spear.
sword spear.
Like the shop is like it says like sword spears plus pole arms, more or less. Which would
Fair enough.
Yeah. Technically that counts as a staff weapon, but not really. It's the same way how like
That's a staff weapon that does not staff-like damage.
kinda. I would say like pole arms would do more like axe degree of damage. Because if I recall, swords, whips,
You're
and
punching a hole in someone, brother.
yeah.
You're not asking them a question. You're punching a hole through them.
No, but you are. Yes, but I mean like in terms of like the dice they use, they would be closer to the axe
but-
dices.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because axes I believe use d6s.
I presume these things would use D8. You're putting your entire body weight through someone on a sharp, pointy stick.
Remember how we deal damage is differently. Remember, we deal damage by dividing an attack stat.
I know.
Therefore, a d6 is less minimum.
Pretty high.
Yeah, less minimum division. Yeah. So, Arca, any of these stands in any of these various weapon stands interest you? Because they do have some unique weapons you could kind of go out of your way to look for. You see some like glowing swords, some maybe with elemental properties, some maybe specially crafted with some extra bits to them. Various unique things, but from far away you can't quite get a good look at what they are. You can't quite determine the stats exactly,
Here it is.
Blair?
Huh?
Did you hear me?
You're not paying attention, brother?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Well, it was your turn to speak, and you didn't speak.
Which of the stands are you going to go to? The sword spear stand, the sword stand, the axe stand, the throwing weapon stand, the
Throwing weapons.
Throwing weapons?
Throwing weapons.
Because daggers and shit. I know what he's after.
Well, technically his dagger in context counts as a sword weapon. Counts as a
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
As you go
I know what he's after.
As you go around more so
Any weapon can be throwable if you're brave enough and have a good arm.
If you're strong enough, really.
If you have a good arm, like a good.
If you have a good arm.
With this in mind, as we continue forward, Parker, you kind of go up to the throwing weapons stand and you notice various things. You notice, throwing weapons that you equip, as well as various consumable throwing weapons. You see actually, a few stands. One run by a pawnman, one run by a jigsawry, and one run by a Rudin ranger.
I trust the Rudin more with throwing weapons rather than any of the other two people here.
Well, jigsawries, I believe, have puzzle blocks, throw puzzle pieces.
You don't understand. Rudins have the weapon that is most, similar to weapons that we have and understand.
Yeah.
That's all.
Non's gonna... Let me see here. Let me know what he's gonna do real quick. Let's just run this did I... Oh, god damn it. I could have... Oh, no. I didn't put them on because they're white. Put them out here so that I can actually fucking read them.
Oh yeah, what happened to the Activoid?
Non at the current moment. Non is actually going up to a training dummy. Evidently, the axe stand has a bit of a thing where you can kind of test out some weapons.
That's fair.
And
Do they have machining mats or whatever?
You wouldn't necessarily see it, but like they do. Like some of the stands do have like punching bags. Some have like their own little thrash machines you can spar against, and some have like little train and a few other have train. It's like the weapon stands do have like some of them have ways to like test things if you would like to, you know. However, at the moment, Hera, I believe, is still.
Don't want Hera to see the thrashing machine. Just don't want Hera to see the thrashing machines, please.
Well, I mean, they would be deactivated. They would be deactivated, and they would have signs on them saying a sparring match, like 50 dark dollars. You know, like
still. No, it's kind of a. Oh, I see a thrashing machine. She's not gonna check if it's on or off. She's just gonna blast the shit out of it.
So, who's Arca gonna go up to? The Pawn Men, the Rudin Ranger, or the Jigsaw for the throwing weapons? Non is currently fucking absolutely doing some stylish-ass DMC-esque combo on this training dummy.
Right. Get Arca to the Rudin Ranger.
Up to the Rudin Ranger?
I don't know.
As you approach the Rudin Ranger, they're going to say, "Well, howdy there. Well, how can I help? Got you. I've got some weapons if you'd like. I've got some throwing knives, some reinforced ones, and I've got some various unique from the generic piles. And though I can tell with that look in your eye, you're preserving some of my more unique things, right?"
What do you got?
Well, stranger, from my more more specialty weapons, I've got a few things. First things up, I've got us, as he then brings up a box. A little something more ornate, a little something fancy-like, as he brings out a clutch of pearls. Say hello to with what appears to be a brooch like amulet connecting them. It's like this almost a glove.
Now that's an item.
Say hello to the pearl launchers. As he then kind of
The pearl launcher.
basically, imagine this very ornate-looking glove, kind of almost. Like it's like a glove, but it's not made of fabric. It's made of like a jewelry, kind of.
That's. I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes I thought you were cutting out your sentence somewhere.
Yeah, you just kind of cut it down a bit.
God damn it!
You just said
Basically, it's a
same thing over and over is what I mean.
Oh, I'm saying the same thing over.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Right. So that's
the pearl.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I'm trying to think of a better name for it.
Separate your $10 out.
I'm trying to think of a better name for it because I'm like, I'm trying to think of what would a good name for this be.
The Peroach.
The Peroach. That could work.
Peroach.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like it's like this ornate or almost ornate-esque glove made of jewels and shit. And as he puts it on, he actually allow me to demonstrate real quick. As he flicks his hand, he holding onto the brooch in his palm. The pearls and jewels actually fly off, striking at the wall targets, before disintegrating and the dust reforming around the brooch or amulet that he's holding.
Yeah, there's a very good reason why Aaron immediately took her over to the produce section rather than letting her wander around the store.
I've got another item as well if you'd like something interesting. I've got some a bit special, something a bit I've been working on a bit. As he then pulls out from another box, a bit behind him actually. Say hello to these babies. Say hello to the ranger's knife, to the ranger knives.
Ooh.
By
the way, Jack, are you gonna say every single line that the merchant says in Resident Evil 4? Because I know he says stranger.
I mean, do you want me to?
I'd like it. Like,
Well, stranger,
I think that would
say
be-
hello to the ranger's knives.
I'll take one.
Hold up, let me show you demonstrate and show you what else I've got first. As he then also throws it at the target. Unlike the throwing knives or even the reinforced throwing knives, as he throws this, the ranger's knives suddenly splits into 2 knives at once.
Oh, that's epic.
He wants it. Yep.
And of course,
stolen his heart.
one more thing, of course. My friends say hello. As he then pulls out from his other throwing weapons, his third unique type. As he pulls out what appears to be a boomerang. What appears to be a high-tech boomerang with straight up like a calculator, apparently a functional smart screen for internet connection, and like a targeting system.
So you can watch videos and kill your enemies.
Say hello
Almost
to the
simultaneously.
say hello to the cyberang. As he throws it, it hits the target and bounces back.
Man, that Cyberang must have quite the durability if the electronics aren't getting damaged with each shot.
I kind of want
The splitting, the knife that's the rooted knife, the one that's split into 2. I like that one. And we'll take that one, please.
There's no we here.
Alright. Is Aaron gonna get
Nobody's here with you, bro. You're just here alone.
Is Aaron gonna get anything specific? Is he gonna look for more unique healing items? Because he also sees some few other. He actually sees.
I mean, to be fair,
like there's the.
he
pros.
knows that sister's pretty creative with her stuff, and he knows that she can probably do healing magic.
You actually also see, evidently something interesting. You see tension milk.
What? Tension what?
Tension milk.
Tension milk.
As you drink it.
Yeah, he's going to buy that instead of regular milk.
As he reads it, it apparently reads, heals based on TP amount.
Oh, never mind. Thought it was actually something like a tension bit where it gave it TP.
No, that's what you have tension potion for.
Tension bit.
Yeah, and tension bits as well.
So he's not gonna really buy tension milk because his sister kinda does that for free to the entire party.
As we keep on going.
So if it's 100, it's 100 per person. If she sends 100 TP, it's 100 TP per person in the party. There's 100 HP per person in the party.
Something you do also notice, as you also notice apparently a elemental food item that'll doesn't heal but gives you an element. You find order berries.
You said what now?
Apparently, what they do is these berries don't heal. They give the order element to the user for 1d4 turns.
What does order do? Like, what is its strengths and weaknesses?
Uh,
It's probably like in its ingredients list or whatever, because important information.
I believe off the top of my head, I recall, I believe order was the primary counter to chaos. And I think I believe it also mostly has synergies with a lot of the... Right.
As what?
It combos with all the elements. Order and chaos have this sort of yin and yang duality shtick with them, where they're weak to each other. Order is weak to chaos is weak to order, but order is also weak to chaos. It's the duality of reality. Focus on order and you will create chaos, seeing its flaws. Focus on chaos, you find its pattern, and create order. Having order element gives you resistances to the advanced elements. Like, to the advanced version of the prime. For instance, because we have water, fire, earth, and air as our 4 basic elements, and then you often have their their advanced variants, which is like water has ice, fire is normally lightning, earth is normally metal. In our system, metal is tech element. Air normally doesn't have anything, so we just gave it dust because I couldn't think of anything better. I'm sorry. As resistances.
Okay, that's neat.
Like, they're berries.
So on top of being resistant to her normal elements for 1d4 turns, she can eat this berry and have resistances to the advanced versions too.
Yeah. Because, ice is the advanced form of water in, most magic systems, technically. I won't say it's exactly like that in our system, but I'm trying to use terminology to refer to each set of elements.
Sure.
You have our 4 basic elements, our advanced elements, our animal elements, our abstract elements, our special elements that are that are specially unique to this system, and then you have your obvious element.
Created elements.
And then you have your obvious elements, like a virus element. That's obviously our poison. That's poison or virus. That's you have one or the other. Yeah, it's it just depends. Is it fantasy or is it sci-fi?
Reality. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, there is poison in reality, so...
Yeah.
There's poison in sci-fi, even. They just don't use it as often because it's not really an effective weapon.
Yeah. Well, because in sci-fi RPGs, poison is normally just a thing. It's not its own element. If it's an element, they normally associate it with viruses, because it's it's probably something against robot enemies or something, or something.
Or against specifically biological enemies or whatever.
Yeah. So at the current moment, from what we know, the total add-up of the Protos you guys are getting would add another 3 days, and surprisingly, probably because this is a flea market, so it's a local market, it's only about 50 for the extra 3 days worth of supplies, more or less.
Bro, that's still a ripoff. D&D, you could pay 1 GP and have enough rations for 100 or so days.
Well, unfortunately, that's not the situation. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I was just explaining to people who know D&D. I was just hoping to get a relatable reference card.
Hi, man. I assume the party is okay with that 50 on the extra 3 days worth of food, basically.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I hope we get a 5-person group that's supposed to take down our heroes, and we can make a Toku Sentai joke about it.
Toku Sentai.
The Ginyu Force, yeah. Honestly, that'd be pretty funny if we had a Ginyu Force.
Oh yeah, it would be. It would.
The Aorta
Sonic.
Armored Army. There you go.
I've been making like Sonic DBZ art and like OCs based off of Sonic OCs based off of Dragon Ball characters. I might make like a Ginyu Force art, a Ginyu Force art where it's the super Sonic special, super special Sonic Surge and Smash.
Shit, that actually works really well. Fuck.
I mean, they only have like 3 members. They have like Scratch Gunner, Coco.
But anyways,
so,
back to the game. If you want the Rangers knives, something this seller will note at the current moment, they're not exactly perfected yet. So, I'll cut you a bit of a discount. So I'm selling them a bit cheaper.
Bro's getting a deal on a weapon he didn't even know he could be a deal on.
Though, although, then again, I do have a few that are completed proper, but they are quite a bit more expensive.
I mean, to be fair, you have an item master in the party that could perfect this weapon better than the person who's selling it, so you should probably take the one that's not perfected so the item master can perfect it.
Well, I mean, in this context, perfecting it wouldn't really... It would basically just be, because you're an item master, you don't get the drawbacks of it being an imperfected weapon. Like, you just don't get the negative aspects.
Permanently perfect it, is the thing. He can permanently fix the item.
Well, that depends on the subclass he chooses when he becomes level 5, technically speaking.
He's not level 5.
At the current...
Mr. Hera, he procced level 5 twice. It's fine. He's level 4, that's right.
Yeah. With this in mind, you can get the perfected version, which will, be 150.
Or
the imperfect version for only 75.
That's half price, bro.
Blair?
Oh.
Blair. Yeah, again, your turn, brother.
I'll take it.
You'll take the imperfect form?
Yeah.
That's... Everyone alright with the 75 dark dollars being spent?
How much we got left?
You'll have 375 after this.
We can
Sure.
afford it. We can afford it.
I mean, all things considered, all you guys really need to do is just go up against a bunch of thrash machines, defend a bunch, and then just...
Let Hera delete them?
No, just kill with melee.
Arca comes from royalty, so like
that too.
They've got
just kill with melee.
Arca comes from royalty, so they can just spend their parents' money,
which they currently don't have.
Not like they have credit cards, but
You think your dad's gonna give you his credit card?
Ralsei's not. Ralsei is a little stupid, but he's not that stupid.
Going out of country?
I mean, to be fair, he would probably just give him a straight amount of money, not a credit card. To start him off, that.
Not the whole ass account,
Not the whole ass account. You're probably gonna need another page for that because you've already fixed everything up there.
Yeah.
Do we get an audience? At all?
Well, I mean, we would have to live stream for an audience.
No, I mean how many views do we get? That's what I mean.
On average, a few. The average for me, which, I mean, to be fair, I don't think anyone's really... Most people are caring more about...
Sessions.
Yeah. Or more actually, they care more about